Hey guys, and welcome back to the Good Time Trading YouTube channel. And today we're going to be doing a different video, and this is how to set up TradingView. Because I know if you're watching me, you're going to want to have yours set up kind of to the same settings. That way we can be watching the same stuff together, and so we both get better over time. So I'm going to hook you guys up with a free how to set it up, and so you're going to want to start by right clicking the chart and go into color theme. And watch your eyes, everybody, or look away. I'm going to turn it to light. And you can see this doesn't really look too pleasing to the eye. So right click again, go back to color theme, and then scroll down to dark. And then from there, I already have mine changed in, so I'm going to go ahead and put it to my default settings. So once we get done, you'll be able to just automatically go down here and hit it. And you can see this looks a lot better. Okay, so how do you set that up then? So right click the chart and go to settings, and then we'll start out with symbol. And on this, you're going to want to, you can change these to any color you want to. I just like the bright green and red. So, and I created my own, and you can create your own by clicking like this color and then hitting add, and then changing it to this and hit add, and it'll save it to your colors. And then with this one, it's just bright red, opacity turned all the way up, nice and bright. And then the borders, same thing, same color. And then the wicks is where it'll be different. You want to do it a little bit darker color so they stand out better. And then the last value line, I keep that the same. And then I close this, keep this turned off, and adjust for dividends. Not really sure what that does, but I'm going to leave it off. And then extended hours, yeah, I just leave that off because I'm not sure what that does either. Maybe you guys can tell me. Um, so symbol, I just leave that on ticker, and these are the open, high, lows, close values. I definitely want that, and that's when you scroll over your. Let me see. Let me click out of this and show you. When you scroll over, like right here, the 13K top, it'll tell you in the top left corner, right beside Coinbase, right in this area. And just like, so if you're trying to see where did we top out at, and it was 19,891 and the low was 15,200. So I really like that. But anyway, back at it, right click the chart, settings, and okay. So bar change values, I'll have that on. Indicator titles, I'll have that on so I know what indicators I have. Turn off indicator arguments, leave the values on. And that's the values is like, so if you're like, where's the 200-day moving average, you just click down that, and then it'll tell you right here at 5,800 is where it's coming in at. So now that we got that, we'll go back to settings, and so the background on the status line, I just leave that turned all the way up. And then, okay, scales, uh, you want symbol last value name, no overlapping labels, that way it doesn't junk up the chart. You definitely want countdown to bar close, and that's probably the most important one, and that's what tells you we got 5 days and 9 hours left on this weekly candle until the weekly candle close. Um, so yeah, leave all this standard, and then this is where the video kind of comes in. So the appearance, you want the background turned murdered out black, vertical lines turned down, horizontal lines same, just black it out. Turn off session breaks and leave all this the same except for watermark. And the watermark is the Bitcoin 1 week in the background right here. And yeah, you can change it to whatever, but I like to know what chart I'm on just in case something may have happened. I was looking at the wrong chart. So that's on 31 and probably this gray color. Okay, and trading, all this turned off, just extend lines left. And make sure this thing is turned off because this thing will drive you nuts. It'll show up and it's kind of useless, so turn that off. And then events, I want to know all the events, the earnings, dividends, all that, not the earnings breaks. That'll put a big junky vertical line in your chart. And but you do want this if you're trading traditional markets. And then you're gonna wanna save that. Make sure you hit save as and just name it whatever you want, and then hit OK. And you're set up. And now we'll just go over the indicators that you guys can follow along with. And by double left clicking, you can pull up your indicators and then hide them. And so with these, you're going to want to add volume, and then these are my settings and colors for those. And then volume MA, those are the settings, and it's going to be in line, but I put area that way it just kind of hides all the irrelevant volume. I'm really just looking for the big spike ups on the volume. And then you're going to want to make sure when you do change something, you always hit save as default and then OK. And then you're going to want to get the Bollinger Band on your chart, and it doesn't work too good on the weekly, but so on the daily, you're going to want to turn this guy on, and it's just the standard Bollinger Band. And I changed this one to gray because my 21 moving average is red, so, and this one used to be red, so just change it to gray, and then you can play around with it, but it's the standard settings on this. Okay, and that's what it'll look like. And then, so now that we got that, we got volume. This is the VPVR, and that's the visible range if you have a pro account or premium. And on the settings on it, it is, I changed my row size to 100 just because if you do the default, like I'll show you, the default is like really wonky and hard to use, but if you change that to 100, you can see how it really tightened it up and gave it, a more defined range on what's happening. But yeah, okay, so now that we got that added to your charts, we'll go to the EMA, and probably the most important indicator package that I'm going to give to you guys. And what you do is you would type in this right here, 7 EMA by 5 MA by store-wise, into this. So right here, indicators and strategies. You click it and do that. And here's the settings for those. So the inputs 21, 50. I don't really use the 50, but I got it in there just in case. And then 55, 89, 200, 377. The 10 simple, 30 simple, 50 simple, 150, and 200. But don't try to look at all these at the same time, especially if you're new. Just keep it simple with just the white one, and maybe the 21 would be a good start. And then once you get more familiar, add more into it. And follow along with me because I'm going to try to teach you guys about them. Okay, so the colors will go red, turned all the way up for the 21, the 55 EMA, green. This is the 89, and it's that thickness. They're all the same thickness. And then purple 200 EMA, blue 377 EMA, and then the yellow 10. And then I got the white 200. Okay, and yeah, and then you can also go to Heikin-Oshi's, and I may be looking at that from time to time, and it's pretty good, especially on the higher time frames. It's a little bit clearer. It just kind of shows you the trend in like a candlestick form, like bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. Okay, so yeah, that's how you use Heikin-Oshi's, but be careful with them because they can mess up the moving averages and oscillators. Um, and then another thing on your MACD, this is just the standard MACD. I forgot to tell you guys. I keep it standard settings, and yeah, just the MACD is what you're looking for in the indicators right here. And then Stokes, this is the stochastic, and the settings are 14.3.6, and there's the colors right there. And then the BA historical volatility percentile, that's made by Bollinger. There's my settings, and he is amazing with this indicator. It's so good. One of my favorites. It's the BA historical volatility percentile by Bollinger. You search it right here. And so yeah, if you guys put these on, you'll be able to follow along with me. And let me see if I missed anything else. Okay, so this bar, if it's not pulled out, you can do this and pull it out, and then pull it back in, and you can hit F11, and it'll go from full screen to not full screen, and see what else. Yeah, you just cycle through the time frames by clicking, and then if you want to add a time frame like all of mine, you would go to you'd click this, and then you would just go down here and click like add 1 minute and click add, and then you would favorite it and hit the star like that. Okay, and then to create an indicator template, you would just click this right here and then save this indicator template, and then you could cycle through them like I have all mine up here. And then make sure you save your charts if you're going to be drawing a bunch of stuff and move it around. But yeah, that'll get you guys set up. And then if you want more information on how to use the indicators, I'll be doing those in the future. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. And also like and subscribe if you're new.